Hello Key Stage 2. This week's learning we will be writing a diary extract. Again we are watching the video of Treasure and basing our learning around that. Last week we wrote a setting description and this week we'll be writing a diary entry from the point of view of the lady in the video. So these are just some examples you might associate with diaries. Today I'd like you to put your date, leave a line and put your learning objective into your red books please. This is where we will be writing and we're going to be practicing ready to come back to school next Monday. So pause the video, give yourselves a few minutes to make sure your presentation is perfect. So today we are going to be thinking about writing a diary entry. So this week we're going to write a diary entry from the lady in the video, Treasure. When you write a diary entry, you're writing about the day in the life of a real person or character. The diary entry needs to sound as if the person or character has written it, so it needs to be written from their point of view. It also needs to be exciting and interesting to read. To get this right, we are going to follow a few easy steps. What steps might these be? What do you already know about diaries? I wonder if you can tell me some of the things that need to be included. Have a think. So, thinking back to Treasure, how would you feel if you were that lady after your day at the junkyard? Was it a good day? Was it a bad day? Interesting. How would you describe your day? Yes, that's right. I think it was quite a good day for the lady. She found her diamond ring, didn't she? And transformed her home. So I wouldn't say it was a bad day at all. So I've had a go at writing the diary entry from the lady in the video, Treasure. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read it and I would like you to follow along with me. If you like, you can join in and read it with me too. What I'd like you to think about is what features have I included, what bits of writing, sentences can you see? Can you spot any mistakes as well? Because this is a good way to read back your work and identify any mistakes that you may have made. I'm sure there'll be a few that you can spot. So, dear diary, the day I thought would never come has finally arrived. I have been living in this dump for what feels like years, but today it all changed. I feel very overwhelmed and content. As you know, I became homeless months ago and decided to set up camp in this huge dusty junkyard, as filthy as a shack. In fact, it is more like a dozen shacks that have been stacked on top of one another. Every now and then I would wander around taking a close look at the new unwanted items that have been dumped in this place I call home. Today was no exception, but I discovered something that changed my tatty ancient tent into a palace. As I walked through the narrow passages in between the banks of grubby rejected objects, I began to inspect closely at things. I peered into an old soggy box. Crash, clang, smash, I flung out numerous plates over my shoulder. They were no good to me. To my amazement, inside the box there was a yellow broken umbrella. I quickly popped it up and a smile grew across my face. Hesitantly, I stepped towards the large table covered with rusty, damaged tin cans and felt my heart start to race. What could these be used for? All of a sudden one caught my eye. An unusual shape, torn tin, but appealing in some way. I chucked it into my trolley and continued wading through the junk. All of a sudden, a mysterious noise came from a grubby, murky golf bag. I got onto my tiptoes and peeped over it. It was really dirty inside, and a whiff of old socks pierced my nose. I quickly moved on. On the floor was yet another brown cardboard box. I couldn't resist to look inside. It's like opening a birthday present. What will it be? I never know what I will find in this place. I carefully lifted up the baby's mobile, and at that point one of the birds fell off it. Typical. I liked it though, so again added it to my growing pile of goods. After a while, I arrived at an abandoned car that had a black leather seat and a green air freshener hanging from its mirror. I jumped on the seat and began to turn the wheel. Squeak! I closed my eyes and imagined driving down a country road with the wind in my grey curly hair. I can imagine. One day, maybe. I sniffed the air freshener, imagining the smell of the freshly cut grass, and lay back into. I would like you to think about, did you enjoy that diary entry? What did you think was good? Did you spot any mistakes? I have found a few typos, so some spelling mistakes in there. Have a little think, reflect back on my writing. So let's think about our diary extract, thinking about its purpose. So why are diaries written? They're to give us an account of what happened in that person's life on that particular day, maybe. The audience, they are written for sometimes for other people to read, sometimes not, but just maybe to look back on and remember what happened on those specific dates. Thinking about the language, it was informal language, so in use of contractions in there. The layout, written in paragraphs, and punctuation, those key bits of punctuation, of course, capital letters, full stops, lots of commas in there in between adjectives for our complex sentences and things that we looked at last week. So here we go, features of a diary entry. I would like you to record this in your book so you've got it to look back at for when we come to write our own on Wednesday. So I'd like you to pause the video and get this written into your book for me. Okay, so I have gone back through looking at our steps to success, some of the things that I would like you to include in your diary, and I have highlighted in the same colours where you will find it in mine. So I'd just like you to have a look at where I have managed to fit in our steps to success within my work. So past tense, a lot of the verbs you would add ed, but some of them you would change. So I flung, so that's the past tense, fling if you're doing it right now. So you need to really think about the past tense of some of the words you use within your diary. Again, I want you to have a look now. Where can you find exclamation? Where can you find somewhere where it's showing you, so describing how the lady is feeling and not necessarily telling you? Where there's time adverbial, where I've written first person, and there might be feelings and past tense. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds on there to have a think, and then I will reveal. Okay, here's some of the things that I have found. So in this one, I didn't find any feelings. There is a show not tell though, which shows the feelings. So I felt my heart start to race. To a bit of excitement, but it doesn't necessarily say I am excited or I feel excited. So just to recap, a diary must be written in the first person. That means you include the pronouns I, my, we, or our. In our diary, we'll just be using I and my as there is only one character. These words are special because they tell us the diary has been written by someone and they're talking about themselves. Look at these two examples. Which one uses the correct words to be written in the first person? So as I look down from the lofty lofty home, I noticed a group of humans. They seemed to be holding loud, bright monsters with sharp, glistening teeth that were tearing our trees from the ground. Again, as she looked down from her lofty home, she noticed a group of humans. They seemed to be holding loud, bright monsters with sharp, glistening teeth that were tearing their trees from the ground. So which one is written in first person? So you'll write the first one written in first person using I, our and I. Okay, so steps to success for your diaries this week. We're going to be written in the past tense. You'll be in the first person. Talk about your thoughts and feelings. Going to include adjectives and time conjunctions, fronted adverbials, variety of sentences, and they're going to be written in paragraphs. So I would like you to complete the 2 activities that are on Education City. These will recap our work on fronted adverbials ready for your writing on Wednesday. Okay, enjoy your learning today.